A very happy day to my dear children. I, Angel Singh, welcome you all to the online English classes for today. Today we are going to start with a poem titled Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, written by Robert Frost. Robert Frost is known as the nature poet, modern poet, and a lyric poet. So here we go with the poem. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. So here, poet is using the rhyming scheme where we can see the no and snow are rhyming with each other, near and year are rhyming with each other, though and snow. So here, poet has used a good rhyming scheme for us. He is also depicting us with the nature. So this basically is a poem which is based on nature. So let's go with the explanation stanza wise. In the first stanza, the poet says, to whom these woods belong. Woods means the jungle area in which he is wandering with his horse. I think they belong to a man in the village, but he won't see me stop here to watch the snow fall on the trees of his woods. So we are unaware in this stanza about which person the poet is talking about. And he is saying that these all woods, this all forest belongs to that person, but he is unaware that I have arrived here. In the second stanza, while he was thinking such things, like he was riding his horse on an unknown place, so his horse must be giving him some strange looks. So his horse must be thinking, it is strange to stop at this time of the night. I stopped in between the woods and the frozen lake on the night with no moon. So it was the darkest night of the year. Two things we can think, like it must be the most darkest means there is no light, like there is no moon, or darkest means it is the most strangest or the most coldest night of the year. Okay, so here at this time it is very strange for the horse to think that why his master has brought him up to such a place in such a cold and freezing night. The horse is unable to understand. Even the lake in that forest is frozen. We can understand, we can also think that the poet is depicting the difficulties of the life that we go through. So it must be the darkest day or the difficult day of his life. Coming to the next part of the poem, he gives his harness bells a shake. He means horse here, to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So here in this poem, poet tells us that the horse is waking him up, or he's breaking his chain of thoughts by moving his bell. And the only sound that could be heard in that forest is of the easy wind, means the wind is slowing very, there must be a small light breeze there. Okay, so that sound they can hear. Apart from that, there is eerie silence. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. It shows that the poet loves to be there. He's enjoying being there, but he has many errands to complete before he goes to sleep. Sleep here means before he dies. So let's go in deep study. The horse shakes the bell as if he were to ask if I had made a mistake. I means the poet. He's asking the poet whether you have made some mistake coming here or not. There is no other sound in the woods except the whistle of the wind. Except the whistle of the wind, except the sound of the wind, there is nobody, no sound could be heard in that place. So here, horse is bit confused whether his master has brought him up to the right place or not, whether they should stay there or not, since it belongs to a very darkest time of the day, and there is nobody seen there, nobody is there to call them up, nobody is there to welcome them up there. The last stanza: the woods are beautiful and dark, but I have many commitments to keep. And I have to travel a long time, a long way before I have time to rest. In normal meaning, in normal word to word meaning, we can say that the poet has gone on a very long journey. So he has many things to complete before that time comes, that when he will lie on his bed and he will sleep. So before sleeping, he has to finish up many tasks. On the other hand, we can think that before dying, we all have some errands, we all have some promises that we have kept, we all have some ambitions that we want to fulfill before we die. So here poet depicts that this whole forest is the journey of life, which is full of excitement, sadness, as well as challenges, where we could have bright sunny days, happy days, and also we can have darkest days where even there is no moon in the sky, where nobody is there around us. A time in our life comes when people around us, when our friends also leaves us, right? So that would be the darkest time of our life, but still the life goes on, and we have to fulfill all our commitments that we have made before dying. Let's go through the literary or the poetic devices used in the poem. Personification. The personification is used for the horse in the line, my little horse must think it queer. ठीक है, तो उनका हॉर्स जो है, ही मस्ट थिंक, द हॉर्स इज द एनिमल. Okay, it cannot think practically speaking, but here poet is using the personification to make us understand the poet that the horse is thinking. So in this line, personification is used for the horse, and illusion, the darkest evening of the year, we can imagine it. ठीक है, the darkest evening can be the darkest year evening related to the night or to the difficult day. Repetition. Repetition is used when the phrases or the words are repeated in the poem. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep, they are used to attract the attention of the reader, as well as to show the importance of the line. When the lines are important and the poet wants us to pay attention in that line, then he uses the literary device known as repetition. Alliteration, in which the first vowel of the words in the same line is repeated. In stanza 1, H sounds whose, his, house, he, here, his. H word alphabet is repeated. Then W is repeated, S is repeated. In the same way, in stanza 2, stanza 3, and stanza 4, we can see the use of alliteration used by the poet, where the same vowel or the consonant is repeated. The first alphabet of the word is repeated. So we have studied the literary devices. First one is your personification, allusion, repetition, and alliteration. 4 poetic devices are used in this poem written by Robert Frost. So I hope children you understood the poem. God bless you all. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.